Django is a free and open-source web application framework, written in Python, which follows the model-viewer-controller architectural pattern. It is maintained by the Django Software Foundation, an independent organization established as a 501(c)(3) non-profit. Django's primary goal is to ease the creation of complex, database-driven websites. Django emphasizes reusability and pluggability of components, rapid development, and the principle of don't repeat yourself. Python is used throughout, even for settings, files, and data models. Django also provides an optional administrative create, read, update and delete interface that is generated dynamically through introspection and configured via admin models. Some well-known sites that use Django include Pinterest, Instagram, Mozilla, The Washington Times, Discs, and the Public Broadcasting Service. History: Django was born in the fall of 2003, when the web programmers at the Lawrence Journal World newspaper, Adrian Hollivety and Simon Willison, began using Python to build applications. It was released publicly under a BSD license in July 2005. The framework was named after guitarist Django Reinhardt. In June 2008, it was announced that a newly formed Django Software Foundation would maintain Django in the future. Features, components. The core Django MVC framework consists of an object relational mapper which mediates between data models and a relational database. A system for processing requests with a web templating system and a regular expression-based URL dispatcher. Also included in the core framework are a lightweight and standalone web server for development and testing, a form serialization and validation system which can translate between HTML forms and values suitable for storage in the database, a template system that utilizes the concept of inheritance borrowed from object-oriented programming, a caching framework which can use any of several cache methods, support for middleware classes which can intervene at various stages of request processing and carry out custom functions, an internal dispatcher system which allows components of an application to communicate events to each other via predefined signals, an internationalization system, including translations of Django's own components into a variety of languages, a serialization system which can produce and read XML and/or JSON representations of Django model instances, a system for extending the capabilities of the template engine, an interface to Python's built-in unit test framework. Bundled applications. The main Django distribution also bundles a number of applications in its contrib package, including an extensible authentication system, the dynamic administrative interface, tools for generating RSS and Atoms syndication feeds, a flexible commenting system, a sites framework that allows one Django installation to run multiple websites, each with their own content and applications, tools for generating Google Site maps, built-in mitigation for cross-site request forgery, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, password cracking and other typical web attacks, most of them turned on by default, a framework for creating GIS applications. Server arrangements. Django can be run in conjunction with Apache, NGINX using WSGI, or Cherokee using FLOP. Django also includes the ability to launch a fast CGI server, enabling use behind any web server which supports fast CGI, such as LIGHTTPD or Hiawatha. It is also possible to use other WSGI-compliant web servers. Django officially supports 4 database backends: PostgreSQL, MySQL, SQLite, and Oracle. Microsoft SQL Server can be used with Django MS SQL but only in Microsoft operating systems, while similarly external backends exist for IBM DB2, SQL Anywhere and Firebird. There is a fork named Django Non-Rel which supports NoSQL databases, such as MongoDB and Google App Engine's data store. Django may also be run in conjunction with JSON on any Java EE application server such as Glassfish or JBoss. In this case Django JSON must be installed in order to provide JDBC drivers for database connectivity, which also provides functionality to compile Django into a WAR suitable for deployment. Google App Engine includes support for Django version 1xx as one of the bundled frameworks. Using Django, online resources, Django official documentation, current and detailed documentation on nearly every aspect of Django. It includes a version selector for information pertaining to specific versions of Django. Tango with Django, a beginner's guide to web development with Django, 2 scoops, making Python and Django as fun as ice cream, Django packages, a directory of reusable apps, sites, tools, and more for Django projects. Django Basics, installing Django and setting up a project and an app, books. Integrated development environments for Python. While a number of Django developers use text editors such as Vim, Emacs, TextMate or Sublime with Django Bundle for their projects, others prefer Python-specific tools providing debugging, refactoring, unit testing, etc. AppTenor Studio with integrated Pyth, Eclipse with Pyth, Eric Python IDE, IntelliJ IDEA with Django plugin, provides functionality similar to PyCharm, coding, Komodo IDE, Microsoft Visual Studio with Python tools for Visual Studio, MonoDevelop, NetBeans with Django plugin, Ninja IDE, PyCharm, PyScripter, SourceLayer, provides Django framework out of the box, Wing IDE, versions, community, JANG-goh. There is a semi-annual conference for Django developers and users, named JANGOCon, that has been held since September 2008. JANGOCon is held annually in Europe, in May or June. While another is held in the United States in September, usually in Portland, Oregon. The 2012 JANGOCon took place in Washington, D.C. from 3 to September 8, 2013. JANGOCon was held in Chicago at the Hyatt Regency Hotel and the post-conference sprints were hosted at Digital Boot Camp, Computer Training Center. Django mini-conferences were held in Hobart, Australia in July 2013 and Brisbane, Australia in August 2014. See also: Comparison of web application frameworks, references.